Okay, this video is going to be quotes from this lady here today about Maggie McGee. So Maggie McGee is an American lady, and she's kind of simple, okay? She grew up in Arkansas on a farm, and the reason I'm showing her today is because she cured herself type 4 colon cancer, okay? And her brother had died from cancer, and of course she was really sad about that, but she kind of learned from it that she was disillusioned with conventional care of cancer. Okay, so when she got cancer herself, she, sort of used her common sense, and she saw that there was something to all this plant food stuff. So she kind of looked into that a little bit, and she ended up going down that path, and she wrote this book, How I Beat Stage 4 Cancer. She called it the Maggie McGee Protocol, The Truth About God's Amazing Pharmacy. So she loved all these plant foods, and she talks about religion, and I'm telling you, there's more power in religion and in plant foods than is widely recognized. I say that after extensive experience with the highest level of technology. Okay, I did my fellowship at Harvard. I did some of my training at Northwestern. Plus, I've been to a lot of other big name places in medicine. I know high-tech medicine quite well. Okay, and I said to myself too, my mother died of colon cancer. She lived a long time, about 12 years, but it was mostly because of her own personality and efforts. I didn't know anything. At that time, I was just a medical student, and I said, go to the specialist. I can tell you, I know other doctors, lady doctors, who are MD, PhDs, big shots in medicine, and this one lady, she's from Eastern Europe, very beautiful lady, but she was just pathologically jealous of me. I offered to help her. I said, look, I know a lot about cancer. I will help you. And she's like, oh, get lost. I'm going to a specialist. So she went to a specialist, and she had terrible complications from chemotherapy. She got a stiff man syndrome, and she was dead a little bit later, about 2 years later. Okay, this was a young, beautiful woman in her early 50s. And I had another lady, and this was a friend of a friend. And they came to me and they said, I heard you know a lot about cancer. You got any advice? And so I told her exactly what to do. She's fine. She still goes jogging every day, okay? And that was over 10 years ago, okay? What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of wisdom in this simple stuff. Look up, Kelly Turner, the Irish lady from Sloan Kettering. She wrote the book Radical Remission. She started studying all these long-term survivors of metastatic cancer. What do they all have in common? Almost all of them. They ate a plant-based diet. They exercised. They did things to manage their stress, quite often. Religion. Okay, well, let's listen to what some things Maggie McGee has to say. She says, it seems that the latest in cancer treatment is pretty much the same old stuff. Chemo, cut, poison, and burn that's been used since 1957. Walking out of chemotherapy treatments was the first step in saving my life. Surgically removing a tumor does not cure the cancer because the real culprits are the cancer cells, and some of them are always left behind that can recur. One day we will look back on chemo and surgery treatments for cancer as barbaric. You want to avoid PVC vinyl shower curtains because of the chemicals. You want to avoid powerful cleaning chemicals like Ajax or Comet. You want to avoid dishwasher soap. You want to go with glass and stainless steel for the kitchen. You want to avoid soy, smoked foods, fluoride, chlorine water, no-stick cookware, GMO foods, microwave popcorn, toxic people because they cause stress. And other things that she does, religion, Christianity, sunshine, avoid plastic, no cell phone held close to the head, avoid dry cleaners, wears 100% natural fibers like cotton, home air filter, purifier, plant-based diet, mini trampoline for exercise, avoid sugar, and avoid processed food. Okay, so, it's not rocket science. What I'm trying to say is I've seen surprisingly good outcomes with this sort of stuff. And it's worth knowing about it. So, it's not end-all, be-all, but it's good to know.